Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to the Awaken Happiness Now Global Series. I'm so glad you are here with us today. If you are new to me, new to my channel, new to my show, please do subscribe on YouTube so you can take advantage of all the current shows, all the previous shows, all the future shows. We have so many up there. It is my deepest wish, desire, and intention to bring forward to you these wonderful speakers who are sharing their wisdom, their gifts, their teachings, their experiences, their activations and readings, etc., so that you can all thrive. You can have more information, more awareness, etc., and thrive in your lives. And today, my guest is Matthew John, who's back with us, and I know you're all excited. And we're going to be talking about how to find your true purpose on Earth as a starseed. So, some of what we're going to talk about today is how to know if you are a starseed, how to figure out where you're from in the stars, how to know if you're in your ascension lifetime. We're going to talk about that, what that means, how to uncover the mission you planned out for your ascension lifetime, how to figure out what teachings you wanted to bring to Earth from your specific star collective, how to actualize as a star seed incarnated into human form, how to connect with your star guides to receive the next steps of your mission, and of course, always so much more. Matthew is going to be doing some live readings for a few lucky viewers to tell you where you come from in the stars and what your mission is here on Earth. Okay, so I'm excited about that. It's always so interesting and so much fun to hear the different places that people are from and what their purpose and mission is. So for those of you who may not know Matthew, he's been with us many, many times. Like I said, we love having him. You all love having him here as well. We always learn so much. He is an internationally recognized spiritual teacher, an intuitive psychic medium, trance channeler, intuitive astrologer, a starseed guide, an energy healer, medical intuitive, speaker, and spiritual life coach and mentor, working with angels, archangels, ascended masters, and galactics. He is a gifted intuitive, wisdom channeler, trance channel, and a transmitter of healing frequencies. Matthew has been on a 15-year awakening journey, and his powerful and effective teachings and healings are a product of many intense awakening experiences, deeply human ordeals, and tens of thousands of hours of study. So he receives clear guidance from his guides, which he shares with his followers and clients from around the world. And I know some of you are here with us today. So please join me in welcoming Matthew back to the show. Matthew, so glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh my goodness, there's so many people already with their hands raised who want to get a reading with you. So it'll
Amazing.
be,
Yeah, we're gonna do a lot of
yeah,
readings today. I can't wait. Yep.
yeah, and they're all excited. So they want to know where they're from, what their mission is, what their purpose is,
Yep.
etc. So Matthew, I just wanted to quickly start off by just talking about, most people know and have heard, obviously, the people on the show who come regularly, they know about star seeds, right? They know that, most of us are star seeds, but I find that in this day and age right now, especially, there's more of an interest in people recognizing that they are a starseed, getting their gifts online as a starseed, and doing their purpose. So I think that's becoming more and more aligned with a lot of people, and there's a mass, I'm going to say, awakening happening on the planet right now. But people are
Yeah.
really looking into this, right?
Oh yeah, and and I love how you put it. I agree with everything you said. It's growing, exponentially as time goes on. It's every year that, we progress forward with on this planet, the awakening grows at not quite an exponential rate, but over time, actually, those of you that are math people like myself, it does look like a logarithmic graph. We're starting to just enter that parabolic stage of awakening on the planet, where now it's happening really 10 times quicker than it was 10 years ago, for example, right? So, and astrologically speaking, Saturn in Pisces has had a lot to do with that. Neptune in Pisces as well. And now with Neptune being retrograde, you're getting a lot of people that are stumbling on spiritual awakening through weird, expansive experiences like so many of us have. It's been so fascinating from my point of view over the years to get to bear witness to, thousands of different people coming to me and telling me, when I was this age, I had this wild experience with the spirit coming to me or with the UFO coming to me, right? So it's happening much quicker now because of where we're at astrologically and just because of where we're at in the ascension, where this is, we're starting to get closer to that inflection point where it's kind of a make or break of is this planet going to be able to successfully ascend, or will the dark beings, win again, so to speak, right? So because we're approaching that inflection point, the awakening is accelerating. And as a corollary to that, yes, people are becoming more interested than ever before in Starseed. So, really, I've been one of the pioneers of the world in this research over the past decade. But now over the past 2-3 years, especially, I see it exploding in the new age spiritual realms, which is exciting to see that there's such an interest in Starseeds.
Absolutely. And the interest is, for me, it means that they're starting to wake up to who they truly are. They're starting to wake up to something else is possible for them. And that's exciting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I mean, I get asked this question on, podcasts and shows and all the time. And just people ask me too. And it's a really valid question. It's like, okay, I'm a starseed. So what? So what? What does that mean? And my response is, so what? So what that you're actually from another planet or another galaxy? So what that you're actually an infinite, eternal, galactic being and you're just pretending to be in a human body here on Earth? So what? What do you mean, so what, right? So, yeah, it is, for starseeds that are on an awakening path, just the experience of discovering that one is a starseed is one of the most important things. It can be one of the most expansive things. And it can, that's kind of where it starts a lot of times. And from there, it's so much easier to be able to come into communion with one's power that, most humans on the planet have become disconnected from.
Absolutely. And what's interesting is nowadays, it's now 2024. So most of us know about the different galactics families that are out there, like the Pleiadians and Sirians, etc. But to be honest,
Well,
when I
most of
first
us
heard,
here, but still most of the world, not yet, right?
yeah,
Which is exciting
true.
because there's so much room left to, for this topic to expand.
Absolutely. But when I first heard, I think it was like 15 years ago, I was having a reading with somebody and she said, "Oh, there's two Pleiadians just watching from a distance." I'm
Oh my
like,
God.
okay. I had no idea, like, who are the
Right.
Pleiadians?
What does
What is
this mean?
that?
Right.
Right. And then, and then now fast forward 15 years, it's like a totally different story. Right. But
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes that's how we find out is in a reading. It's like, oh, there's these Syrians are here and so on and so
Right.
forth. Right. And that starts to open your awareness, open your eyes, open your mind to, again, different possibilities, and knowing that, hey, you know what, maybe what I am experiencing right now, it's just a little blip. It's like it's not that big of a deal, but look at the bigger picture, look at all the stars, look at, like, where I wonder where I came from, I wonder what experiences I really had, I wonder, right? And it starts to open you up to that wondering and that joy, right, of being more than just this human flesh and body, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's so important because just like what people say, like, I'm of the younger generation. I'm not that young, but I'm definitely not, as old as a lot of people that are, now starting their awakening journeys, which is actually really cool because like a large percentage of my clients and the people that find this sort of stuff are in their 70s and 80s. And it's like, even though they're at that, that stage of their life, they're finding this stuff. And because their soul at that point is turning on that switch of spiritual awakening, which is so exciting. But, people are awakening in all stages. And what's just as exciting is that young people, teenagers, people in their young 20s are waking up faster than ever, right? But it's like, what do the kids say? YOLO, you only live once. Like, well, what if that actually was the case? I mean, how defeating and how really, if you think about it, powerless that makes one to be kind of just subject to the randomness of the universe, right? Well, you just might die at any time. Well, you just might, have this horrible thing happen at any time, right? oh, you're just this flesh and bones, right? And then when you die, your brain shuts off and that's it. Like, what a powerless experience that would be, right? So no
Yeah.
wonder people over millennia have found religion, have found faith in order to kind of abate that natural feeling of powerlessness that comes along with being a physical being, right? But what's one step further than that, and what actually much closer to the truth of reality, is that we exist almost as if as like a Russian doll, right? Where yes, there is the body, there is the human mind, there is the human soul, but what if it goes further out than that? And in reality, it does. What just happened with our green screen here? Hold on. Okay. Now it's like a black and white cookie. I'll fix it in one moment. That's funny. Okay. That's even funnier. Okay. This is a new place. I'm not at my normal studio, so forgive me. But
It's okay.
the show must go on. What I was going to say is
Exactly.
that in reality, yes, we are like a Russian doll, right? So yes, you have the human soul, but what if it goes further than that? In reality, it does. It goes to a what I would call the galactic soul, the part of ourselves that actually put the human soul here, right? And that's what the essence of being a starseed is. The essence of being a starseed is that you are in reality this incredible galactic soul, and you are just playing as a human soul. And this is where people actually a lot of times misunderstand the predicament of starseeds, where people think that, oh, if I'm a starseed, it must mean that this is my only lifetime on Earth. No, false. In reality, almost all starseeds on Earth, this is not even close to your first lifetime, because it may be your first time as a human soul, but as a human soul implies for in almost all cases, that you enter into the reincarnation cycle of planet Earth. And as you enter into that reincarnation cycle, you are going to want to experience all different aspects of the earthly experience, all 12 sides of the zodiac wheel, all different emotional experiences, like Earth being essentially like a Shakespearean play, right? You're going to want to experience all of that. And as such, you get the totality of the Earth experience, the totality of the human experience, right? And that's the essence of what being a starseed is about. It's about coming here to get the totality of the human experience and then leaving some sort of legacy behind. And another good word for that, for legacy, is the P word, purpose. And I'm going to let you give your audience some amazing wisdom for the next minute while I fix the background.
Yes, I can always, fill up time with talking. So, one of the things that I know, and I was speaking to somebody just earlier today, is that a lot of people are curious about their purpose, and there's a difference between purpose and calling and mission, right? But in the end, it comes down to, we don't remember before, like what we had decided, before we came here, right? Before we incarnated, we had a plan, and sometimes we like, shake our head and say, "What did I plan? Why did I choose this? Is this part of the plan?" Right? But sometimes we don't remember, but we start to get inklings. And the purpose, I think, for all of us as star seeds, because I am one as well, and I think most of us are, is to again remember who we are, but at the same time leave that legacy of love and oneness and spaciousness, that we're more than just this. And that part of it sounds like really a small little simple thing, but can you look into your life and see where you were not really loving yourself enough or loving other people enough, or in the way that they desired and required, or that you could show the world what love truly is? And love truly is just being you, right? Without the limitations, without the judgments, without the fear, etc. It's just being you. And the more that you can recognize that part within yourself of, you know what, I'm a galactic being having this human experience, having these different emotions. Let me recognize these emotions. Let me recognize that that's who I am, but I am love and light, right? So let me be more of that love and light for myself, and that is automatically going to radiate out to others. And then the other star seeds will start to recognize your light and say, "Hey, hold on, maybe I am also a little bit like that. I also like light. I also like love. I also like being authentic. I also like to show up in my life." And so then, that starts this whole ball rolling of, everybody's starting to once again recognizing that they are more than just this body, more than just this mind,
Yeah.
and there's much more to them. How is that for filling in time and space?
Filling in? Are you kidding me? That wasn't filling in. That was a soliloquy of it was an epic soliloquy that is just so, every word there was so filled with incredible wisdom and light codes, and I thank you for that, and I know the audience does as well. That was incredible. I agree
Yeah,
with
thank
every
you.
word you said.
Awesome. All right,
And
so
it's so important to remember that, because when we talk about this stuff, when we talk about finding one's purpose, okay, so it's a very left brain concept, right? What is my purpose? Let me figure out what is that title that goes on my literal business card, or if I had like a metaphorical business card for as a starseed, that who I am as a starseed and what I'm contributing to Earth, right? It is actually a very left brain concept, right? I am a healer of animals. I am a healer of mothers with wounds with their children. I am a healer of addicts, right? I am a healer of pollution on planet Earth, right? And we'll talk about all those different possibilities, and do readings for people. So, ultimately you have to find this yourself, but I can absolutely be a guide. Think of me as a spirit guide in human form to help direct you towards that purpose. But it's also crucial, as Shefali, you just expanded upon, to merge that left-brained concept with love, with the heart, right? Because ultimately, if, let's say, as a starseed, your mission coming to Earth was to be a healer of animals, right? To bridge the animal kingdom with the human kingdom, right? And you find yourself in a position of healing animals or of caretaking animals, right? As many of us do. And I know many of us, feel that that is either our mission or one of our missions, right? Well, ultimately, if you look deep down, you'll find that it's out of love, right? And it's
yeah,
one of the most important things to take from this call. If you're truly on your purpose, you will love what you do. If you don't love what you do, then it's not quite there. You might be providing for your family, which is incredibly important. You might be filling time, in your life and giving yourself a sense of accomplishment. But if there's not love behind it, then it's not the deepest sense of purpose from a starseed perspective. And this is where people get lost, because I hear from people all the time. Okay, is this a mistake? How did I end up on Earth? This can't be right. I didn't want to be here. I was forced here. No matter what, I'll tell you what, this is my last gosh darn lifetime on Earth, right? I hear from people like that all the time, that there's this angst and this resentment about even being here, right?
yeah,
And I get
yeah.
it, because this world is really screwed up in every possible way, pretty much, right? So I totally get it. However, ultimately, from the perspective of I talked about the Russian doll, that star soul that you truly are, from that perspective, you came to Earth out of love. And it seems masochistic. It does seem masochistic at times, meaning, think about it. Like, all of us have had really dark lifetimes. And right now, if you look around the world, there's innumerable cases that we can look at of people living really dark experiences right now. Look at the war-torn areas of our planet right now for as Exhibit A, right? Well, all of those souls, if we want to believe that everything is planned out, if we want to believe in the life plan as I do, and some of you have seen me talk about that at length in other calls, right? Then there's no exceptions, meaning people experiencing really dark experiences on planet Earth, for whatever reason, that is also part of their life plan, right? Well, if that is the case, then are we going to say that none of those people are starseeds? Hell no. Probably a large number of them are. And for all of you guys and us that are starseeds, hopefully we're living a pretty good life in this life. A lot of us aren't. A lot of us are going through a lot of trauma and shit right now, right? Or have been in the past. But it doesn't mean, and this is where people can get disconnected, if you've been through trauma and shit in this life or other lifetimes, as we all have, all of us on this call, it doesn't mean you're not a starseed. It actually probably is confirmation that you are a starseed, right? Because, as I said, you want to, as a starseed, experience the totality of the earthly experience. You come here to experience the totality, and even deeper than that, you come here out of love to experience that totality.
Absolutely. I love that. And that's what we have to keep reminding ourselves, right? That we came here out of love, right? And so, as difficult as times get sometimes, remember to always come back to the love part, right? That love piece.
Yeah.
So now I know that, Matthew, you were a wonderful guide in teaching people and guiding them to who they are, the starseed, where they come from. But how can we know ourselves where we're from in the stars? I mean, like I was told, there's these Pleiadians watching, but I didn't, it's like, okay, but like it didn't mean anything to me at that time until, of course, much later when I started doing more and more research on my own and then starting to tap into the different galactic families. And then, it became more apparent. But how can we find out for ourselves where we're from? Like, we do get an inkling, don't we?
Yeah, we do get an inkling. Absolutely. Where do you feel most resonance with? Like, for example, going back in my journey, when I first started getting into the starseed stuff, like I was, I was in a really expanded state at the time. I was coming off of a plant medicine journey. I had never heard of starseeds before. I'd never heard of that term. And I was at a public library after this, like 2 days of being on this plant medicine journey by myself. I wasn't with a group. I wasn't with a shaman. I wasn't with a guide. This was just me guiding myself as I do with everything in my life. And I was just perusing the internet, and I don't know how. I have no idea how. I stumbled across this weird website that looked like it was made with like GeoCities in like 1998. And it was just this really basic website, and it was describing starseeds. And when my eyes came connected with the word Syrian, I just got this vibration. I was like, oh my God. I don't know how I know, but that I know that's me. And then I perused down a little more, and the word Andromedan, that came out. And I was like, oh my God, there's just as strong of a resonance here. And so that was, the beginning for me. So yes, resonance. Where do you feel a resonance when we talk about Pleiadians, Lyons, Sirians, Arcturians, Blue Avians, Mantis beings, Cassiopeians, Hyadians, Beta Centaurians, Alpha Centaurians, Andromedans, Vegans, so on and so forth? Those of you that end up purchasing the special offer, which is not even a special offer, it's like legit giving like everything to you at an incredibly low price. It's a super special offer. This is the biggest packages I've ever given for the lowest price. And you get the Discover Your Star Origins or Understanding Your Starseed Origins webinar. I go through 3 hours. I go through the traits for every single of those that I just mentioned, plus more, right? So you can just feel, okay, what resonates with? Maybe you have a favorite channeler. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's someone else. Maybe you have a whole bunch of favorite channelers, right? And you just feel, oh my God, when Matthew's channeling the Syrians, I feel such a resonance. When this person's channeling the Pleiadians, I feel such a resonance. When this person's channeling the Arcturians, I feel such a resonance, right? Yes, absolutely, those are signs. Now, the best way really to know is I like to journey, and I like to have people journey. And that's been a huge part of my work, and not just my work, but my research over the past decade. Is I downloaded at a certain point in my journey the concept of a Starseed discovery session. The name was downloaded to me. The script was downloaded to me. the structure of the session. And since then, I've done almost 1,000 of those. And they're great, not just because they've been so expansive and helpful for people, but also for my own research purposes, because I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of examples, and I have hundreds of pages of notes on this. What is life like on Vega? What is life like on the Pleiades? What are the Essassani like, right? What do they look like? What do they eat? What do they, how do they treat each other? What are their family units like? How do they reproduce, right? So I'm a galactic researcher in that sense, and my research has all come through guiding people on these regression journeys. So getting into meditation, for those of you that are meditators and like to take journeys, is the best way. Well, one of the best ways, because it actually places you there. And I always do welcome people that want to, seek me out and do the Starseed regression sessions. I have very limited availability for that. Usually it's months out, but I still do offer those once in a while. The second best way, really, other than like taking yourself there through some sort of astral journeying or guided meditation, is, I think, to go to a trusted person that knows about this stuff. I think I'm probably the best in the world at being able to identify instantly where people are from. My guides show me a map in my third eye right here. It looks very much like this. And they show me, okay, their soul's from here, here, here. It like lights up on the map. And you'll see me do that when we do readings today. And that's a great way, if you trust me, or it doesn't have to be me. If you trust someone else that's on this show or anywhere else, let them read for you, but always also run it through a filter of your own discernment. I've heard from so many people over the years, they're like, this person told me I was 17th dimensional Blugararian. I'm like, I've never heard of that. It doesn't make any sense. Does it make sense to you? They're like, no, that's why I came to you. I'm like, all right, well, let me see what I see. And I see something very different, right? So always run, whether it's someone else or myself, run it through a filter of your own consciousness. But it's really, it's okay. And I think it's actually important at times on our journey that it's okay to lean on others that may, like, if you were to go to like Walmart or Wegmans and ask some random person like, hey, I think I might be a Pleiadian alien, right? Can you confirm or deny? Okay. They might call security on you. Versus me, I literally do this work every single day. Like almost every day of the year, I'm telling people, I'm reading people where they're from in the stars. So it's like, if you ask me, you could probably trust it. You know what I mean? And there's others that do this work as well. It's not just me, obviously, right? But it's okay to sometimes lean on others for confirmation or for an opening, because a lot of times people will come to me and I'll say one that wasn't on their mind. Like sometimes they might have known that they're Pleiadian and Arcturian, but then I bring up Lyra and they're like, oh, that's interesting. I haven't heard that yet. And then after they hear that from me, they go and they buy the book Prism of Lyra, or they watch a Lyran channeling, and they feel that. They feel that expansiveness and that connection, and that brings to them that new piece, right? So it's okay to lean on others to discover, but also the best possible way, whether you do it with me or on your own, is to learn how to quiet your mind, direct your consciousness to take a journey somewhere. Say, I am intending to travel to my own planet, my home planet. Show me, and just see what visions come. For most people, it's going to be really hard because you're not at that level quite yet, which is why, I'm here as a guide for people. But some of you might be able to do it on your own, and you should try.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like what Matthew said, was use your discernment. If something doesn't feel right, you don't have to take it. If something resonates with you and it feels good, it feels right, then go with that, and then do more research for yourself, tap into it. But definitely always use your own discernment too. Absolutely. I love that. So let's talk about Ascension Lifetime. So what does that mean? And how do we know if we're in our Ascension Lifetime?
You are in your ascension lifetime. Great question. If you are on a conscious journey of awakening, that's how you know. And it took me many years to come to that very simple definition of what it means to be in the ascension lifetime. It means that your expansion, awakening, becomes conscious. Because in reality, as we talked about already, we live hundreds of lifetimes, most of us on Earth, right? And in some of these lifetimes, we are really expanding. And in other lifetimes, we're more just playing out these karmic roles. We're playing out these karmic experiences, right? But in specific lifetimes, and I say it plural because it can often be a plural experience, meaning you might have had a really expansive awakening lifetime in Lemuria. You might have had a really expansive awakening lifetime in ancient Egypt, in ancient Greece, in ancient Sumeria. Maybe you were a monk in a temple in a Buddhist land long ago, right? And so this may not be your first crack at awakening, but if we take that, it's a conscious awakening experience and add that to the fact when we look at the planetary astrology and we see that the planet, as we discussed at the beginning of this show, is on this accelerating awakening experience, accelerating ascension experience, right? We're very much on the cusp of the age of Pisces and the age of Aquarius planetarily, right? So because as a planet, we're in the ascension lifetime, okay? Then you add in the fact that if you have become aware of your awakening process, as all of you are, because you would not be seeking out me, you would not be seeking out Shefali, you would not be seeking out this material if you were not on a conscious awakening path. That's confirmation that you're in the ascension lifetime.
Yep, absolutely. And most of us, we are. So it's
All of,
not easy,
I
right?
would say all of us on this call are.
Sorry?
I would expand. I would say all of us on this call are.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not always easy, but it is what it is.
Well, a lot of times
So
the fact that it's not easy is actually, if you truly understand what's involved in the ascension lifetime, you understand that that's 100% by design. Because the ascension lifetime, this is what's on the curriculum if you're in your ascension lifetime, okay? You have to take all of the unhealed karma, all of it, that you've accumulated, traded back and forth between, your different soul contracts in other lifetimes, all of it, and alchemize it in this lifetime. That unhealed karma, it sits in your energy field, okay? It's like, have you ever, hopefully I'm not the only person to ever have this experience. Did you ever forget about like some bananas or like some oranges or something, and they were in a bag and in somewhere in your kitchen under a bunch of other shit, or even in your room, and then you find them and they're just like molded over, and you're like, holy crap, right? I'm glad that I'm not the only one. This is probably one of the weirder metaphors I've ever. I love metaphors, a lot of you know. This is probably one of the weirder ones I've ever created in my mind in the moment. But that's what it's like to have this unhealed karma in your energy field, okay? It's old, moldy, rotten fruit that you forgot about, that you didn't realize was there until you become aware of it. Well, how do you become aware of the molding fruit? You're sniffing around, you're like, geez, I've been smelling something for days. What is this, right? And you're finally looking around, you're like, oh my God, right? It's like months old, molding, rotting fruit. Well, how do you become aware of the unhealed karma in your? The more I talk about this metaphor, the more proud I am of myself for actually. I think it's actually brilliant. How do you become aware of the unhealed karma in your energy field? Well, the universe smacks you across the face with relationship issues. Unhealed. An out of the blue financial issue, an out of the blue health issue, right? Just like getting smacked in the face with that smell of that old rotten fruit you forgot about. So that's karma that's in your energy field from other lifetimes that has come back to you, because in the ascension lifetime, it is your mission, your role, your obligation to take all of the unhealed karma, all the rotten fruit in your energy field and transmute it. And this is actually what, if you think about like a funnel, right? Here, we'll go from the top down. Think about a funnel of all of this unhealed karma. And as you're alchemizing it, one of the, it's like, those of you, raise your hand in the chat if you have a juicer, right? You know how when you juice, like some of you might do the celery juice from the medical medium or whatever, right? Let's say you do the medical medium celery juice, right? So you're putting through the celery, okay? Well, the output that ends up being what you want and what heals your body, right? Well, that's the celery juice, right? And you drink that, you heal your gut, etc., right? Well, but out the back of the juicer, you get all the junk, all the fiber that, well, it's like that is this karma gets run through a juicer. You have to alchemize it, and all of the stuff you just got to let go of through forgiveness, through self-healing, right? That's the stuff that comes out the back of the juicer that you throw out in the garbage. The gold, the juice, the alchemy that comes out the front of the juicer that you drink is the P word, purpose. So all of that unhealed karma leads down to the alchemy of your truest purpose as a starseed, which you must, it's your obligation to discover in this lifetime.
Wow. Both those metaphors I can definitely relate to. So the moldy fruit as well as the juicer, and absolutely we are all doing that. I mean, when you look at your life, I'm looking at my life, all the different things that have happened in my life. Yeah, definitely. And I've been saying this for a long time now. I know I'm just clearing past karma, I'm clearing ancestral karma, I'm clearing galactic karma. I know that that's what's happening with all this stuff. So it's like, keep doing it, keep doing the work. Just keep on, keep on. All right,
Exactly.
so
Leading somewhere. It's
yeah,
always, whether you realize it in the moment or not, sometimes in the moment when you got a shitstorm around you, when life seems like it just kind of sucks, right? We've all been through those periods. Maybe some of you are in a period like that right now. And it's important to remember and have people like me remind you that it is all leading somewhere. I don't say it to just sugarcoat life. No, it's the reality is that this is all very meticulously planned by your soul. Meticulously. We have so much less free will than most spiritual teachers will make you think you do. The free will is largely an illusion. In reality, we're following a path that's already laid out for us. And actually, interestingly enough, the quickest way to understand that is through astrology. But that'll be a whole another show we can do in the future.
I totally agree with you. Like we talk about free will choice, but I know after even doing my studies in neuroscience, etc., it's like no, we actually don't, right? So
Right. Yeah. Neuroscience will tell us that it's programs, right?
yeah, and it starts before we have that verbal thought, even of whatever it happens to be. So if I say, "Oh, I want to drink some water," the process of drinking water has already started before
By the way,
I even
that's
pick up the
hilarious.
glass.
The moment you said that, I was drinking water.
Exactly, right? So yeah,
Everyone on the
it's
show,
magic.
take a water break. It's important to stay hydrated, especially how hot it is. Drink some water.
And especially when we're talking about such a interesting topic, talking about the stars, talking about the galactics and cosmos, etc. Definitely you want to drink some water.
Absolutely, because we're all receiving codes. I'm transmitting codes consciously. Shefali, I'm sure, is transmitting codes. So yes, you're absolutely receiving healing and codes through this experience.
Yeah,
And water
absolutely.
is what integrates that into our cells. Because think about it, water, like think about a river carrying things, right? Carrying things up a delta. And that's how, if you think about codes, one of the most important ways that codes get integrated into our energy field, into our being, is through water. And cancer season is when we really, get in touch with water and the importance of water.
Absolutely. Very, very, very important. And I always talk about that as well, but make sure you drink your water. All right. So now there's so much that we want to talk about, right? There's so much we want to talk about. And I know everyone's anxious
Yeah.
to like get their
What do you think
readings
about
as well too.
doing a quick reading for someone
Sure.
that's been waiting? People been waiting a while. We could do one or two and then dive in
Yep.
further. What do you think about that?
Sounds good to me. Oh, goodness. Okay. So we'll do, so I'm going to let you pick randomly, Matthew, who is
Let's
calling
do
out to
Viv.
you?
Let's do Viv.
Who's that?
Viv Vincent. Or maybe she's French. Viv Vincent. There.
Oh, yeah, Viv
Yes,
Vincent,
I'm
if you
hi.
want to unmute. Yeah, perfect. Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi there.
Hello.
Are you French, in fact? Parlez-vous français?
No. Ancestry, colonization, all that business.
Oh, okay. I hear the accent now. Definitely not French.
Yeah.
So,
It's UK.
are you finding this interesting so far?
Sorry?
Are
What
you
did you say?
finding this talk interesting so far?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Are you curious to know where I would see your soul being from in the stars?
Please.
Wonderful. So I'm going to kind of open up a star map, close my eyes, and ask my guys to show me where is Viv from in the stars. Okay. And immediately the first place they're showing me is Arcturus. And we'll see if any other ones come up. They're also showing me Orion. Briefly Sirius B. And they're showing me what looks like Cassiopeia as well. And they're showing me Vega, which is near Lyra. And then if we trace your soul farther back, they're also showing me Beta Centauri Hadar. If you trace your soul all the way back, it would go back to the Andromeda Galaxy, what I would term in my model as a ninth density experience, which is essentially the experience of a collective that visually at one time would have been a star, but that star became a red giant. Red giant is that transition between the eighth and ninth densities, and then in the ninth density, it's now disappeared into a black hole, but it still exists. It just in a different plane where there's no emission of a visible light. So coming from the Andromeda Galaxy originally, and that's an important point, is that, like myself, as I said, right after I became aware I was a Syrian, at that time I didn't understand that you could be more than one. And that's a lot of people are at that place when they first start getting into the Starseed material, where they may get confused because, one person said I'm Syrian, the other said I'm Pleiadian, the other said I'm Orion, but I also feel I'm Arcturian. Well, the alchemy and the answer may be that you're all of those things, right? Very often that's the case, especially if your soul, if we trace it all the way back, if we trace that Russian doll all the way back, if your soul comes from the Andromeda Galaxy, you may be what I term the galactic traveler archetype. The galactic traveler archetype of soul is an Andromedan galaxy soul that has intentionally come to the Milky Way with the intention of experiencing life in the Milky Way from all sorts of different perspectives, from the perspectives of all sorts of different star groups. And then as the lowest dimensional experience that you can possibly have in the Milky Way galaxy, and actually this is one of the lowest vibrational experiences you could have in the entire universe, is you come to Earth, right? But you come to Earth with your wisdom and accumulated experience from all these different places that you were in the Milky Way galaxy. So it makes you, if you're an Andromedan soul like I am, like Viv is, it makes you a very ancient soul. People talk about old souls. You can't really get much older. You can, but the Andromedan galactic traveler archetype is an extremely old soul. So as I said, Viv, they started showing me all sorts of different ones. Arcturus was the first one, which implies to me, because I know my readings well, when they're showing me things, that you probably came to Earth from Arcturus, and someday, whether it's this lifetime or whenever you're done with this earthly experience, you'll probably go back to Arcturus, right? But you've also been Orion, you've also been Sirian, you've also been Hadarian, you've also been Cassiopeian. There may even, I now see a Pleiadian experience in there. Lyran, right? So you've been in a lot of different places, 9 different places in the Milky Way. So if I named all 9, great. If not, there might be a couple that I didn't name in there. But have you become familiar? Have you heard of any of these that I mentioned, or how does that feel?
Yeah, the Acturian, the Andromedan, those two mostly, but I didn't know I was the others. I've been quite a traveler, haven't I?
Amazing. Now, Viv, how on purpose or not on purpose do you feel that you are in this life?
Healer, but I've no idea what modality.
I love that. I love that. So you're like 65, 70% on purpose. You know that you're a healer. You know you're here to make a difference, right? But you're just not quite sure in what way, right?
That's right, yes.
I love it. And that's part of the magic of the, the journey of a healer is in trying all sorts of different things until you end up exactly where you're meant to be. But would it be okay if I ask my guides for some guidance?
Please.
Wonderful. So I'm going to ask my guides, what guidance or what visions might you have for Viv? Okay. They took me back, and this is important. They showed me a lifetime of yours when you were incarnated in Lemuria. Okay. Have you heard of Lemuria?
I have, and Atlantis and Egypt, yes.
And you were in both, is my sense, right? And for everyone, if you're not sure if you were in Atlantis or Lemuria, feel free to ask me if you're lucky enough to have a reading today. Those of you that purchase the packages, package B and C, have readings with me, private sessions, ask me then. And also all the packages have the Connecting with Lemuria and Connecting with Atlantis calls. And if you watch those, I can guarantee you 100% by the end of the call, just doing those, you will know whether you were in Lemuria or Atlantis or not. And it's really important to know whether you're in Lemuria or Atlantis because it helps you understand who you're meant to be as a healer. And if you're in Orion's belt, it's especially important because Orion starseeds always come to Lemuria and or Atlantis, and we might touch on that today, we might not, but I talk about that at length in the Connecting with Lemuria call. So they showed me, Viv, a vision of you in Lemuria as a woman, and you were specifically a healer of children. And they showed me a vision of you actually assisting the dolphins in helping the women of your community with childbirth. And it doesn't mean that you're supposed to necessarily be a midwife or anything like that. But my sense is that in this life, having a focus on mothers and having a focus on children and having a focus on awakening the youth is a part of it. Does that make sense?
Well, no, I never thought of that at all. I didn't think I was that connected, but right.
I'm not hearing her. Are you hearing her, Shefali?
She's talking very softly.
Oh.
No, I didn't. No, I wasn't aware of that at all. I wasn't aware of that at all. Children.
Do you have kids?
So it's something new for you to look at.
Yes, indeed. All dolphins.
Does that vision make sense or feel right to you of being an awakener of children in Lemuria?
No. But I'm open to it, but no.
No. Okay.
It's something she never thought about before.
Well, let me ask you this: what is your focus with healing currently?
Energy work, emotions.
Around emotions?
Yes.
Do you find that some of the people that come to you are mothers?
Yes, and I have to. Oh yeah. Oh, yes.
You speak up.
I've had to deal with the problems they've had with their children.
Yeah. So mothers with the problems they've had with their children.
Get into something here because you did essentially Lemuria, and I think the fact that your soul did not choose to have children in this life is actually really important. In astrology, that's the fourth house, and there's actually this remnant of. There's also like negative karmic experiences in your field from other lifetimes, when you were harmed as a child, and even when you weren't a very good parent, part of your karma in this life is helping to heal mothers and their children. And then it'll expand upon that, and you actually at some point may find that specifically you publish like a children's book or something that is specifically made to help awaken young light workers. I think you may be at more of the beginning stages of kind of understanding this. It's not I don't want to make you feel like, oh, now I'm like hoodwinked, now I'm like, obligated, I have to do this. You don't have to do anything. It's just what I get a sense of as your karma and a part of your mission. It's very fourth house stuff in astrology. And along with that, there's this very shamanic aspect too of healing the earth herself, healing Gaia herself. And I see you doing ceremonies with women. You're here as your soul wants you to heal the divine feminine, and holding these different ceremonies, especially outside in nature, to help heal the earth grids with the divine feminine Cancerian energies.
Yeah, that bit makes sense. Yeah.
Awesome. Good.
Right. Thank you.
So there's a little bit of a framework, a little bit of something for you to do more research in, Viv, and see how you want to proceed, okay?
Yes, thank you, Sophie. Thank you, Matt. I'll see you next month.
You're welcome.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you. That was great. Awesome. All right. Just make sure she's muted.
Do we want to do another one, or what? It's totally up to you.
Sure. Yeah, let's do another one right now.
Okay. Let's pick someone from the chat just to be kind of democratic here. How about B? I don't know who B is. Hope you be a good reading.
So B, can you unmute yourself?
B, unmute yourself. You're the lucky one. And if not, we can try. Let me see.
I found B. I found B. So B, can you unmute or no? No, she's not.
If not, let's do Cassandra. Let's do Cassandra.
All right. Who's next? Sorry.
Thank
Cassandra.
you so
there. Okay,
much.
she's unmuted. Okay. Sorry, B. It was not meant to be.
Not meant to be. Beautiful. So
you've unmuted. It may have meant to be, but we may try later. Okay. Cassandra, did you want to do video or just audio here? I can't see it.
Audio is great. Wonderful.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much. We actually exchanged over on Instagram. So I have kind of floated into the Starseed heavily this year, and I've had a sense of Pleiadian and Lyran, but I think that's easily kind of gendered because we are all kind of love nature and love to be connected to empathic selves. But I would love to expand and kind of see where this leads you. I'm sensing this connection of some channeling coming through. So if there's a certain family resonance or anybody particular in my family of resonance to connect to, I would love to know.
My first intuitive hit on that is the Lyrans, is that I see you as actually part of your mission here on Earth is as some sort of Earth ambassador from Lyra, from your specific Lyran planet, and as a part of that to do trans channeling, just like I do trans channeling with the Syrians, to do actual trans channeling from the Lyrans in particular. Doesn't mean you can't do the Pleiadians. You may do them at some point as well. But I would highly, highly recommend starting with the Lyrans.
Wonderful. And with the Lyrans, what is it specifically that you see as a strong suit of me attached with them, bringing through for the collective? I visited a puppy last night, and I'm trying to bring connection together. If this very puppy is connected to the Lyran family, and if this is the right puppy, there was one that was all brown and one that had some white on it. Do you sense a connection to either of these puppies and the Lyran as far as an affiliation with that soul?
Yeah, and I think you probably know it. And when it comes to picking out animals, it ultimately, what the decision that you make is always the right decision. Again, free will is largely an illusion. You end up with the soul contract that you're meant to, just as if, people when they, make whoopee, and I don't know why I wanted to say that, and they conceive, like that's no mistake either. The soul that they're conceiving is the soul that there's already a contract there. I don't know. I suspect that the one you said one doesn't have a spot. Are you still there? Unmute yourself, please, Cassandra. Cassandra, unmute yourself, please.
Yes,
there you go.
I am. What did you ask?
You said one of the dogs you're trying to choose from doesn't have a spot.
So one of them has a little bit more white on the paws and a white underbelly, and the other one is just all brown.
Look, I'll just go with it. My intuitive hit was you'll end up with the one that's all brown, but I want you to make that decision because it's one of the most important decisions you can make in your life. But there is no wrong answer, because the irony of it is that no matter what the decision is, regardless of which one you pick, regardless of what I say, it'll end up being the one that you're supposed to have, right? But I'll just say intuitively, the one without the spots came to me. But
okay.
Both are obviously incredible souls, and then the one will end up with someone else, right? That is meant to be their guardian. So, but yeah, this Lyran connection, and you'll find that connection with the puppy. You will. But I do want you to expand that trans channeling. I do.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Lyran community, what is the oversoul that you see coming through, and so that everybody else can learn? What is the essence that you're touching into?
The essence of and the essence of what is being brought through from Lyra, for the most part, is the bridging of culture. It's the bridging of culture and location. It's the essence of the Lyran teaching is that it's the moving from the illusion that we are all of these separate cultures and languages and people, because we all look different, we all speak different, we all think differently, we all have different culture, etc. Bridging that into the oneness, the true oneness, where we're acting as one human collective, right? Because the Lyrans are masters at having different parts of their planets have slightly different cultures, yet an underlying thread of complete oneness. And that's the ultimate goal alchemy of what the Lyons are trying to help us with here on Earth, is whether you're from Saudi Arabia or Pasadena or West Texas, right? Three incredibly vastly different cultures, right? That at some point in time we'll all get along and see the beauty in each other, and there'll be no more fighting on the planet. So think about it as bringing peace, unity. It's the 9th house in Sagittarius. And part of that is making sure that you are traveling a lot and putting yourself in the position of interacting with many different cultures, and also, interacting with the grid lines in many different parts of the planet. And in your work, make sure you're getting yourself out there via the internet to be able to draw in people from all sorts of different corners of the planet.
Beautiful. I do a lot of archetype. Yep, absolutely. Thank you so much.
For you, Cassandra, for you, I would highly recommend my package B or C offerings, because August 31st, we have a live Ascending as One call called How to Do Trance Channeling. So I, as some of you know, you've seen my trance channels. I am a trance channeler. I'm going to teach you guys on that call how to do trance channeling. I'm going to teach you the exact protocol I use, and I'm going to teach you how to discern between what is a true connection and what is just your mind coming through, and how to find who you're meant to channel. Because there's certain contracts, if you think about, just like there's contracts with people on Earth, there's contracts with beings up there. Like for you, Cassandra, there's a group of Lyrans that is really trying to get through you to Earth. And you'll discover during that call what those contracts are for you. So for everyone on this call, if you do my package B and C, which is the private readings with me, all the classes in August and October or even December, but that trance channeling call on the 31st is crucial.
Okay, well, if you or somebody or the admin here running the call could drop that into the chat, that'd be great.
Thank you so much, Cassandra. Yeah, Shefali, if you want to drop that in for people, that'd be great.
Yep, I will put the special offer link for everyone in case you guys don't already have it. Put it in the chat.
Did you want to chat about that a bit more while we have a chance?
Yeah, so I'm going to just quickly share my screen and we'll talk about the packages since we segued into that nicely. So let's just do that right now. Give me 1 second. All right, so so these are the packages from Matthew this time around. You're going to see it's pretty much the same as before, except that the calls have changed, right? The live calls have changed. Some of
the live calls have changed, but also the live ascending is one calls. They're stepping up in how jam-packed they are with value. So I like to look at this as, no, this is way better than what we've offered in the past. And you can see the schedule. So August 3rd, we've got the True Lionsgate activation, healing. And the reason it's a True Lionsgate activation is because most of you have been, had the wool pulled over your eyes, no offense, to believe that the Lionsgate is August 8th. That was a fabrication of this kind of New Age groupthink around, the numerology of it. Yes. The numerology of 8-8, it does imply abundance, it does imply expansion, etc. However, there's this whole dark side, if you really go into the rabbit hole, of the numerology of 8-8 being associated with a control mechanism from the dark elites, and the astrology of it doesn't line up with what the true intention of the Lionsgate is, which is the heliacal rising of Sirius. The true meaning of the Lionsgate is about Sirius. It has nothing to do at its core with money, right? That's something that's kind of, and there's dark agendas behind that too. Really, if you want to align yourself with the true Lionsgate, you celebrate it on the true day, which is August 3rd. That is the heliacal rising of Sirius over the pyramids. That's what the Lionsgate was from the ancient Egyptians intended to be. So now that you know, it's okay. You didn't know before. I didn't know. There was many years I was celebrating the Lionsgate on 8-8. Now you know. It's actually on 8-3. So come celebrate with us. This is what I mean by stepping up, what I'm offering in these Ascending as One packages. True Lionsgate activation on August 3rd. I'm going to put you, the whole group, we're going to elevate ourselves to a state by harnessing the energy of the true Lionsgate, not only to connect with Sirius, but to create abundance in all ways in our life, including financial, friendships, romantic relationships, and just happiness and joy. Because the Syrians are here, just like the Lyons are here to teach unity, the Syrians are here to teach happiness and joy, because they are the most joyful people I've ever interacted with. So that's on the 3rd, August 4th, healing your crown chakra. The 18th, stepping in your highest purpose. I'm so excited. I'm already starting to prepare for this call 2 months in advance. This is going to be so transformative. This is what I mean by stepping up. We are going to actually shift our DNA through the activations that we're putting out into our energy field into this call. And we're going to take an astral journey to access your own Akashic records. So if you're not sure what your highest purpose is, by the end of this call, you're going to understand on the 18th. You want to join this call, okay? August is probably going to be the most activating and powerful month of Ascending as One in history. Then you got the October calls, healing your masculine father wounds on October 6th, refining your intuition on October 13th, Tarot 101 on October 20th. If you want to learn about the tarot, I'll teach you as much as I can, as rapidly as I can in that call. You'll just get all the recorded webinars, Mastering Your Intuition. As we keep scrolling down, Intro to Mediumship. The Intro to Mediumship call gives you the protocols that I use to reach out and be a medium for spirit, be a medium for people's loved ones on the other side, people's guides, the archangels, etc. You don't have to go do a month-long mentorship with someone else for thousands of dollars. Try this first. This introductory class, although introductory, if you take the protocols I give you in these introductory classes, you can then practice on your own. And it is absolutely not far-fetched at all to say that you can take this and become a professional with it. You absolutely can. It's about understanding the proper protocols, which I'm giving you, and then taking it and running with it and practicing on your own. I already talked about connecting with Lemuria. We take a journey to Lemuria in that call. Connecting with Atlantis. We take a journey to Atlantis in that call. Clearing your inner blocks to activate your maximum financial abundance. I would recommend, if you're getting any of the packages, please watch item 6 before that August 3rd call if you can. It's not a requirement, but if you can, you're really going to maximize your chances of stepping into that highest possible financial abundance timeline, okay? Item 7, understand your starseed origins. I told you that is the call where you get to go through and learn about all the different traits of about 20 different star extraterrestrial groups that starseeds commonly come from, and then healing your inner child. So important for Leo season. Venus just entered Leo today. We're about to enter into Leo season on July 20th, which I am so excited for. Cancer season is so emotional and heavy, and Leo season is fun. It's my favorite time of the year. And my my Light on the Hill retreat coming up as well, which we'll talk about before the end. But so that's all package A. Okay, package A includes all the classes, but you don't get the private reading. Private reading, it's not much more. You're not getting 1, you're getting 2. Who in their right mind? I must be insane. Who gives 2 private readings instead of 1? I don't know. I do. You get 2 private readings in package B. Plus, you get those VIP only calls, how to do trance channeling. And then our October VIP call, Ancient Mysteries. Okay, I'm going to teach you about the Tartarian Empire. I'm going to let you know, is the moon real or is it a satellite? I'm going to let you know, what was that biblical flood? I'm going to let you know about all of the kind of fun conspiracies that I've been studying over the last 15 years. And you can come on that call and ask me any questions like, oh, I read in this book that is that true? And I'll let you know. Also on both those VIP calls, you get to experience the Syrian channeling. We talked a lot about channeling today, okay? You're going to get to watch me transform into a channel for a group of 5 Syrian extraterrestrial beings. They all, pluralize and speak as one voice through me. And they usually have, about 20 minutes of just teaching. And then for the next 20 minutes or so, they take questions. I open my eyes every once in a while. I'm like all drowsy from the channeling. I open my eyes and I read a question from the chat and I ask them through my consciousness. And then they actually will respond with the answer to your questions. So you can actually join and ask the Syrians your questions on those VIP calls. Package B, we include all sorts of other incredible recorded classes. Okay, illusion of ego, teaching you how to dissolve the ego. Healing with colors, teaching you how to use colors in your healing practice. Witchcraft and Magic 101. Okay, again, don't think you need $1,000 mentorship with a witch that, who knows, might end up scamming you, telling you you're cursed. No, try this first, okay? Try my introductory classes, which are far from introductory because I go really in depth, giving you the protocols you need, and then I leave it up to you to practice. If you want to learn how to do white witchcraft, I'm teaching you in this call. Change your reality by changing your words. As we keep scrolling down, how to move on completely from your ex, which is great for Cancer season because a lot of people have been going through breakups or experiencing heartbreak from the past. Creating the 5DU. Item 18, all about angels, archangels, ascended masters, and spirit guides. And guys, these are all full-length classes, okay? And when I say introductory, I don't mean a 15-minute video like some people give. These are 2 to 4 hour classes, okay? And I talk rapidly, as you can see, okay? Eu falo rápido, okay? Rapidamente, okay? I speak really quickly, and I teach you as much as I can in that 2 to 4 hours. That's package B. For most of you, I think package B is great, okay? Because you get those 2 private readings, you get the trance channeling calls, you get the 14 master classes, which you can go through at your own pace, and you get the 8 live Ascending as One calls, which are in August and October, okay? September's an off month in between. For those of you that are feeling such a resonance, such a call today, and want to dive in deep, you want to dive in head first with me, package C, think of it as the super package, okay? You're going to get 3 private readings with me. You're going to get December as well. Ascending as One is every other month. You're going to get December's classes. December, we're doing Understand the Human Energy Field, okay? I'm going to teach you the anatomy of the human energy field. Just like our body has an anatomy, so does our energy field. Healing from grief, that's going to be really powerful and a very personal call. You know, myself having, you know, lost my father and one of my dogs, you know, within the past couple of years. Grief has been a big part of my journey. That'll be a very personal call. And Astrology 101, you want to learn astrology, I'm going to teach you by the end of that call how to read a natal chart. And then again, I leave it up to you on your own. You can go ahead and, you know, practice, and you can take it as far as you want. You can take it as far as being a professional astrologer if you want after that, okay? And also, you're going to get the recorded Package C webinars as well, how to use the 12 rays of creator's energy, which is really cool. That's an absolute hack to manifestation. Putting the past in the past, okay, again, very good for this Cancer season, helping us to unravel and forgive. Everything needs to be forgiven. Ditto for a deeper level of forgiveness. Addiction relief for light workers. I know I can feel there's 2 of you on this call, on this live call right now that are either currently or very recently dealing with addiction. This call was so powerful. I brought on people that one guy who had almost died. He overdosed and almost died, and he went from there, living in his car, homeless, to becoming a healer, a teacher, someone that volunteers and serves addicts. So not only the stories of light workers that have recovered, but also techniques that I know work because I've helped people, many people with addiction recovery over the years. So that's important for any of you that either are going through addiction or have family members or friends that are. You get that with Package C, and then also how to be a successful spiritual entrepreneur. This, I teach you all of my trade secrets on how I took myself from zero income, zero. I came back from Brazil in 2017, and I had taken 3 years of seeing almost no clients and just traveling the world and discovering myself, and unexpectedly stumbling into a dark night of the soul, coming back to the US, incredibly sick, really fearful, confused, no idea about whether I was supposed to even be a healer or not anymore. And one day I was just done delivering pizzas. I was like, I'm way more than this. I'm done keeping myself small like this. And I got to get back and I got to get back and do this. And within 6 months, I was able to make it into a full-time income. And since 2017, it has been a full-time career for me, exactly what I'm doing. I teach you all the secrets that I use, both energetic and practical, because a lot of times you go to these business coaches and most of it is just the energetic side of things, which is important. But I teach you the practical steps about building an email list, advertising, getting your videos to blow up on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, etc. Everything that made me successful, okay, that's a 3-hour deep dive into that. Those of you that are spiritual entrepreneurs, you're going to want to watch that call. Okay, understanding seeing your past lives. We take a journey into past lives on that call. Navigating the dark night of the soul. I feel about a dozen of you on this live call right now are going through dark nights of the soul. This will help you tremendously, the energetics of this call. You also get my bonus ebook and my activation. So again, those of you that are feeling such a resonance, a call to work with me, do the Package C deep dive, 3 private sessions with me. These private sessions, you can ask me literally anything. You want to know where you're from in the stars. You want to know what your purpose is. You want to know about soul contracts. You want to know about your past lives. You want to know about your future. You want to help making big decisions in your life. You want to ask me health questions. You want to ask me, some, lawsuit you're going through. You want to ask, I answer all questions. I'm not those psychics that are like, oh, no health or legal questions. No, fuck it. I answer all questions, okay? So you can ask me anything on these calls. And if you do Package B, you get 2. Package C, you get 3. And Shefali, one of the things I love about you is you offer the opportunity for people if they can't pay all at once. I understand there's a lot of you out there, you can't pay for this. Your soul is saying, I have to do this. Your guides are saying, I have to do this, but you can't pay all at once. So I love how, Shefali, you offer the opportunity for payment plans.
Absolutely. And of course, it's such a full package for everyone. And I always recommend your packages, Matthew, because you deliver so much. There's so much in these offers for whether you're a beginner, whether you're experienced, or you've been doing this for a long time. There's something for everyone, and there's so much knowledge, so much wisdom, so much learning available. Plus, of course, all the live calls and the personal sessions. It's unbelievable how it should be. You should be charging more.
Exactly.
Honestly,
Yeah, exactly.
to be
That's
fair.
what I mean. These are really good prices. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, these are amazing. So I always recommend your packages because I know how much you put into them, and how much
Yes.
energy, intention, wisdom, everything that you put into them. And so,
I work all the
it's
time.
amazing.
I'm a workaholic, folks. I will be the first to admit it, and it shows in the shows I do, and it shows in the packages, because I've accumulated so many teachings over the years because I work so hard. And because I work so hard, I'm able to distill, where does it start? It starts with, oh my God, 5 different books and my own channelings and my own intuitive receivings, and funneling that all down into relatable, practical teachings. And that's the wonderful thing about the recorded classes. Again, they can be shortcuts. They can save you a lot of freaking money in the long run, instead of going to a business coach and dumping $5,000, which a lot of people do. And God, business coaches I tend to steer people away from at all costs, because almost no one gets the value out of it that they paid. It's a lot of pomp and circumstance and good advertising from their end. Oh, I'm going to make you into a 7-figure, a boss lady. And it just, you don't get out of it what you think you're going to. Try first my introductory classes, which really aren't introductory. You want to build a successful entrepreneurship as a spiritual practitioner. Do my Clearing Your Inner Blocks class to financial abundance. Do the spiritual entrepreneurship class. Do the intro to mediumship class. Do the understanding and seeing your past life class. Again, these are all included in the packages. Do the Stepping Your Highest Vibration live class on the 18th. Do the Lionsgate activation on the 3rd, and then see where that gets you. And I can almost guarantee you're not going to feel the need anymore to spend thousands of dollars on a business coach. Try this first. Same with, like, if you're thinking about taking a really expensive mentorship package with someone that's going to teach you mediumship. Do my intro to mediumship call first. Do the trance channeling live call first. See where it gets you. You might realize you don't need that long, expensive mentorship. Okay? That's one of the things that I'm really passionate about offering, because it bothers me to see when people feel like they got as my grandfather used to say, they took my pants down. I walked into the casino, I went to the blackjack table, and they took my pants down, right? That's what my grandfather always used to say. And it really bothers me to see a lot of people getting their pants taken down in the New Age community, and they don't get what they paid. You're going to get if you actually go through, watch these classes, join the live calls, interact, join the Telegram group with Ascending as One, meet and interact with people from around the world, healers from around the world. You're going to get so much more value versus what you paid compared to almost anyone out there in the New Age industry. I can guarantee you that. People tell me all the time that my prices are really reasonable, and that's why they felt drawn to me. So really, if you're looking to go in any direction, you can see that you've got every possible thing you need to learn just in these packages. Start there, do the private sessions, get the private guidance from me, and then see where it leads you.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I love it. Thank you, Matthew, for always sharing so much and so generously.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure.
So, of course, there's lots of people still with their hands raised and also typing in the chat that would love a reading. But was there anything else that we wanted to talk about before we do a few more readings? I think it's really important for people once they know which star they're from. I think it's important for them to know about the teaching that they want to bring to Earth, or their gifts that they want to bring to Earth and embody, right?
Yeah, that's a perfect segue. Let's go there. So we touched on that a little bit before, like Cassandra was asking about, okay, what is the oversoul? What is that overarching energy that the Lyons are trying to bring to Earth, for example, right? And I shared that. Well, those of you that are Pleiadian souls, right? What is the overarching kind of teachings and energy that Pleiadians are trying to bring to planet Earth? It's the healing of the divine feminine, right? It's because we can look back and it's not hard to see all of the damage that has been caused by this overarching monster of a when I talk about the patriarchy, I mean, I'm a guy. It in no way, shape, or form implies that men are bad or the masculine energy is bad. Because, men, we can just as easily say that the feminine energy is bad. It's too wishy-washy, indecisive, deceptive, etc., right? Well, men are too aggressive, violent, right? Those are the shadow aspects of the masculine and the feminine, right? But we can look at that shadow aspect of the patriarchy as having, been this monster that's ruled the earth, really not just over the past couple thousand years, but since Atlantis, right? And even really before that, we can go all the way back to the Anunnaki. I was talking about this with Richard Dolan last night, the theories of Zechariah Sitchin and the Anunnaki. And, it's really interesting that can be a whole nother call. But Victoria, I can see you. You're liking what I'm talking about Zechariah Sitchin for some reason. Okay. But anyways, the Pleiadian souls, you're bringing back that divine feminine and merging it and with the masculine, the divine masculine that's ready. See, the divine masculine needs the support on the planet of the divine feminine to actualize and vice versa. So it's just as important that people are entering into that. And the Syrians teach us the divine masculine frequencies. The Syrians teach us about caretaking community, caretaking family. For example, the Pleiadians and their societies, they often don't prefer monogamous relationships. They don't often even prefer heterosexual relationships. They don't often prefer this nuclear household that Christianity taught us. It's 2 women and 2 men. It's 2 women and 3 men. It's 3 men raising children. It's all different possibilities of men and women and other as well. People think that transgenderism or, a gender neutrality is like this new illusion created by the youth over the past 20 years. Bullshit. Go back to ancient Egypt, there was gender neutrality. Go back to Lemuria, there was gender neutrality. The Pleiadians are in our galaxy, the Pleiadians have gender neutrality. They have men, they have women, and then they have those that identify as being kind of both, all in one, right? So the Pleiadian souls are here to teach us, about lifting that kind of harsh, gender, lines and lifting that harsh, Christian, paradigm of the nuclear family. There's nothing wrong with the nuclear family because the Syrians teach us the nuclear family, okay? The Syrians on their planets, almost all of them, it's 1 man, 1 woman, and children. So you can see that how we're blending the civilizations of all these different places. The Pleiadians are more of that Aquarian free love sort of vibe. As I had talked about, the Syrians are more of that structured nuclear family vibe. Both are relevant. Both are beautiful. Both are perfect. You get to choose which works for you, right? I lean more towards the Syrian because I am Syrian, right? But a lot of Pleiadians will want to explore the other side. And a lot of Pleiadians, if they're not necessarily exploring that I talked about, they're exploring just all ways to rebirth the divine feminine frequencies, whether it's through dance, whether it's through erotica, whether it's through fashion, whether it's through music, right? Music, like where Mozart was channeling his stuff, I believe, from the Pleiades, okay? Classical music, I believe, is channeled originally from the Pleiades. The Arcturians, what do Arcturians come here to teach? Arcturians come here to teach us about science, about math, about how to build better civilizations through math, science, logic, practicality, Okay. The Arcturians are at the forefront of building new age communities where we're all growing our own food together, where we're using solar panels to power everything, where we're hybrid, Arcturian Starseeds are at the forefront of like hybridizing plants to create plants that are more nutritious, for example, right? The Arcturians are also here teaching how to heal with sound. The Pleiadians are more the side of just the music, art. Think about, the Pleiades are Taurus, right? Ruled by Venus. Where Arcturus, which is this more Gemini vibration, is teaching us how to heal using sound frequency. When I was in Mount Shasta in May, one of the coolest experiences of my life, we walked into this store that had these incredibly expensive sound bowls, thousands of dollars a piece, right? This big, made out of really rare metals. And you rim one, and each has a different tone, and then they all start, because there's like 1,000 different ones in that shop. They all start singing. All the ones around this one sound bowl start singing, right? And you feel, the low one, it's healing your root chakra, and the high one, it's healing your crown chakra, right? And that's the Arcturians. One of the things the Arcturians are here to teach us is about healing with sound and frequency. What are the Mantis people here to teach us? They're teaching us about unique expression. Okay, a lot of Mantis people, they're the ones that get the nose rings and the earrings and the tattoos, and their parents don't understand them. It's like, no, fuck you, mom. I'm in my emo phase. I'm gonna do whatever I want to my body, right? That's that Mantis vibe. A lot of times Mantis beings don't really feel, accepted by their peers when they're in school. A lot of times why a lot of Mantis do body modifications, because they don't feel comfortable just, from birth being in a human vessel, because they're this 9-foot or 10-foot praying Mantis being trying to squeeze that into a 5-foot, 6-foot human body. And it's very different, right? So Mantis ETs or Starseeds are here to teach us about unique expression. Lyran Starseeds I talked about before, about blending and merging cultures. Hadarian or Beta Centauri Starseeds are here to teach us about the real deep divine feminine of nurturing and mothering, and also merging humans and animals, meaning, treating animals as, having rights like humans, treating animals as being just as smart and conscious as humans, right? Which I believe they are in most ways. Cassiopeians are here. A lot of Cassiopeians are here to teach not just the divine feminine and also that connection with animals, but also about how to connect with the fairies and the elementals and the nature spirits, right? So and all those that I mentioned are, in the Milky Way, the Blue Avians, right? I'm also Blue Avian Starseed. I'm Sirian, Orion, Blue Avian, and Andromeda, okay? The Blue Avian part of me, I get so excited. Most people dread going to the airport. My mother gets all nervous. Like, most people hate going to the airport. I'm excited. I love going to the airport. It's one of the most fun experiences for me to get on a plane and fly in the sky. And most Blue Avians, you'll find that you have, that same love of flight, right? And a love for the birds. I'm always feeding the birds, bird feeders everywhere, right? So all these different what's the word? These commonalities, right? That come along with being a starseed from a particular place in the Milky Way. And if you're someone like we did the reading before for Viv, right? And my guide showed me that Viv has 9 different star origins in the Milky Way. So think about that. That's a lot, right? So all of those 9 are going to manifest in Viv's personality in one way or another. So if you're from 5 different or 7 different or 10 different places in the Milky Way, you're going to find each of those star groups having some sort of expression in your personality, which is a cool thing, right? And then your purpose will also be a blend, a plurality of all the places that you come from. And again, just remembering, we talked about the metaphor of the juicer, how you, through your experience of alchemizing karma, of going through the bullshit that you go through in this life, that's how you're distilling energetically and stepping into that purpose. And that purpose will be an alchemy of all these different places that you come from. So someone, for example, let's say like, who is Cassandra, right? Cassandra being a Pleiadian and a Lyran, right? Well, merging that divine feminine and that motherhood and that nurturing and that caring for animals, and perhaps the divine feminine, whether it expresses through dance or expresses through fashion or whatever, right? With the Lyran piece, which is that international, that traveling the world, being a type 1 grid worker, interacting with the grid lines around the world, right? Her purpose will then be a merging of that. And her purpose, I think it will probably be both healing people and animals and children.
Wow, that was a lot of information. So interesting to see, even though, for us, we can look and see, oh, I have a little bit of that. I have a little bit of that. Oh, that totally resonates with me. It's like, so we are more than just what we previously thought, right? So our
Yeah.
origins come from many different places, and how we're expressing ourselves is, I just love the way you said that we are expressing those origins through our personality, through our likes and dislikes, through our, what we resonate with. And it's like, I had no idea, so it's like, now I'm thinking maybe I'm also a blue avian because I love to fly. I love going to the airport. I love to fly. I
You
love
probably are.
birds and all that
You
stuff,
probably
so it's like,
are.
oh, I never knew
Yeah.
that. And I never connected that. Right. So I was like, oh,
Yeah, and how fun is it
maybe.
when, see, like I talked about before, when you come across me and I open up for you another place that you didn't yet realize is a part of you, right? And for most, like more people than not are multiple star origins. Okay, there absolutely are people that are only from one, and there's no better or worse. Just like there's no better or worse whether you're a starseed or not a starseed, whether you're an earth seed, right? It just is. It's just all different experiences. Just like, you could get a dog that's a purebred breed, or you get a dog that's a mutt, and both are beautiful. Actually, we have one dog who's a purebred and one who's a mutt, right? And they're all beautiful. And it's just a different experience. It's just a different experience.
Yeah, and we're all having our own unique experiences, and that's what's so amazing. Now, I know people are anxiously waiting, but I think this next point is really important for people to learn about, because a lot of people as starseeds, they don't know how to actually actualize, right? They don't know how to actualize in the physical form, because they feel so lost, they feel so disconnected, and like they just don't know. So can you talk a little bit about that? How we can actually, because we are starseeds, we are from the stars, but we are having a human experience. How can we actualize what we desire?
So I love that question. Thank you. Everything, I want you to imagine everything, all of the information you need to know about yourself, all of the connections in the astral plane with star beings, with your guides from the other side, with your loved ones from the other side, with all of the connections you need and all the information and wisdom that you need to actualize. Think about it as being up there. Part of the process is bringing it down to earth from up there. Part of the process is facing your shit. You have to face what you have to face. And the fastest way to actualize is by facing it head on. Okay, what are you challenged with in your life right now? Relationship issues, financial issues, health issues, depression, anxiety, fear, name it. By facing it head on, which is the lower chakra experience, that you have to, in order to actualize, you have to fully have your energy come down all the way to the root chakra. Most starseeds, we float, and myself included, we tend to float energetically above. Okay, really, we're kind of like the heart chakra up, because we know the heart, we know love, we know how to be loving, and we're very empathic. But facing the stuff in our lives, facing the problems with our family members, facing the bullshit at work, facing the harsh reality of this really messed up world we live in, right? That's all around the domain of the lower chakras. And if we don't face that stuff head on, we can't fully actualize. So if you think of actualization as a starseed as being this alchemical journey between facing what we have to face on the earth and healing what the earth is trying to teach, what our earthly experiences are trying to teach us, which ultimately our soul is pre-planned. with all that stuff up there, all these connections that we're trying to bring in, and that merging, which actually does happen in the heart, right? The merging of the upper chakra experience with the lower chakra experience. Another thing that I teach is that you should always be moving forward at the same rate as you're unraveling the past. If you're trying to move forward too quickly without facing what is in your energy field, a term for that would be spiritual bypassing. And spiritual bypassing will always, the universe will find a way to correct that. The universe will find a way to slap you across the face and say, not so fast. Where if you are just spending too much unraveling the past, right, then you're going to get stuck, and you're not going to, it's like you're getting stuck in mud or quicksand. It's like the scene in My Cousin Vinny, you know, when they get stuck in the mud at the, I was going to say the Airbnb, at the B&B, right? And it ruins his suit, right? You know, you were serious about that? You know, when the judge is getting mad at him for not dressing appropriately. So that's another thing. So think about vertically, okay? To actualize, you need to expand at the same rate as face what is challenging you on the earth in the 3D, and you also need to move forward on the vertical realm, horizontal realm. You need to move forward at the same rate as you're unraveling the past. And if you think about you're doing those, you're finding that center point, and that's the fastest possible timeline to your alchemy. And the great thing about working with me and doing the packages is it's all that. I have classes on expansion, and I have classes on facing your shit. I have classes on moving forward into the highest timeline, and I have classes on unraveling what's dogging you, what's in your energy field that's dragging you down.
I love that. Yeah, it's time to go through our stuff at the same time as we're moving forward. All right.
Yes.
So another question that I think I saw also in the chat a while ago was, how can we connect with our star guides to receive the next missions or the next steps of our mission, the next gifts, you know, that we're in alignment with, etc., so that we can express more of, you know, who we are as a star seed.
Okay, and I teach this in internal mediumship, and I'll teach this in the trans channeling call. Let's demystify mediumship and receiving messages from guides, okay? You can pick up your phone and you could call anyone in the world. Let me know in the chat if you remember being a kid or being a teenager. Hopefully you weren't doing this as an adult, looking through the white pages, looking for people with funny last names and then prank calling them. Sorry. My friends and I did that a lot. Okay, good. Carolyn, you did it too. Right? Thank God we don't have white pages anymore. But now you just get spam callers. You know, I'm here with an urgent message. I need to talk to you about your expiring car warranty. Right? We get those nowadays. But you can call anyone on the earth plane with your phone. You can psychically call anyone in the astral plane with your psychic antenna. Okay? It's a matter of getting really clear. The most important part is that you're clearly calling who you want to call. If you want to connect with your star guides, think about, imagine this is like a journal question. A lot of you watch my astrology podcast and do the journaling questions, right? Think about this as one of my journaling questions. Where is the place and time that I most naturally feel like I can connect? Okay. So for some of you, it might be in the bathtub. For some of you, it might be out at your favorite nature spot. For some of you, it might be at your altar. For some of you, it might be early in the morning when the birds are chirping. For some of you, it might be like myself in the middle of the fucking night, okay? Because I'm a Scorpio, right? I'm a weird Scorpio. I'm a lunarian and night person, right? So whenever that time and place is for you, what you want to do is you want to be super clear with your intention. You can write it out, you can speak it out loud, but say, I am intending to connect with my Syrian guides. I'm intending to connect with my Lyran guides. I'm intending to connect with my Pleiadian guides. And then you can either say, what do you have for me? Or you can say, okay, like ask a specific question, like, okay, what can you tell me about my journey as a healer? What can you tell me about my relationship with my mother? What can you tell me about my liver that seems to be a problem? Like, you can ask specific questions now. And this is part of what we are learning about in Intro to Mediumship and in the August 31st call, is you got to learn how you receive it. Okay. If you are not receiving it, it's not because they're ignoring you. It's not because they don't want to talk to you. It's not because they're mad at you. It's not because they're blocking you. You're blocking yourself. And that's part of the riddle, is understanding how your psychic mechanisms work and what, if any, maybe subconscious patterns might be blocking that. And this is really deep work. The other class that's really helpful as well is not just the Intro to Mediumship, but the Mastering Your Intuition call. And both of those are in all the packages. So watch those first, but then that August 31st trance channeling call, I'll get to really give you one-on-one assistance on that call if you're still feeling blocked at all with receiving guidance.
Awesome. All right. Hopefully, where am I? So I think.
Yeah, B. If she's still here, I think we should give her another shot.
Yeah, B. If you're still here and you can unmute. 1 second. Let me just see if I can find her.
If it's meant
she's
to
still
be,
here.
it will be. If it's not meant to be, it will not be meant to be. To be or not to be?
I'm gonna ask her to unmute and see what happens. I don't know if that worked. I don't know if she can unmute, but
Can you imagine what it might be like to be a bee? And bee buzzing.
So B, can you unmute or no?
All right, let's give someone else a shot. We tried twice. Okay, let's do. Sorry, B. Next time. How about, I have not talked to Marianne before. Maybe it's Marianne Williamson.
No, it's
Marianne.
not.
There you are.
Darn. Can you run for president anyways?
No, I'm Dutch and I live in Greece.
Oh, darn it. Okay. So, did you enjoy today's call?
Absolutely, yes.
Amazing.
So happy it's at a time that I'm awake, because it's almost midnight now.
Oh my God. Yeah. God bless. Thank you for staying with us. We really appreciate the support. So would you like to know where you're from in the stars?
Absolutely.
All right. So the first one they showed me was Lyra. They also have shown me Hadar, Beta Centauri. Got a couple of those today. And they also showed me Orion and Sirius. My sense is that you came to Earth, it looks like, as an Orion soul. So you came from Orion. Orion Starseeds, we didn't talk about this much today, but as I said, the Connecting with Lemuria and Atlantis calls, I go in depth to this. Orion souls, a lot of us come from, including myself, having in our history, our galactic history, experienced the trauma of what are called the galactic wars, where when, the draconian, reptilian, dark beings went and took over our planets, destroyed some of our planets, enslaved our people. And Orion Starseeds are here as truth seekers, wisdom seekers, truth tellers. The Orion Starseeds, we're the ones that want to understand everything. We want to understand how everything works. We want to understand the dark realities, how the dark works. And we're here as polarity integrators. It's called the Type 3 Light Worker Experience, Orion Starseeds, where we're here to integrate a light and dark experience, which is why we almost always plan in our lives, in the Ascension life, to encounter a narcissist or to encounter some sort of dark beings in our life in one way or another, because we're learning. We're here on Earth to learn and alchemize the light and the dark. And we also, it makes us into really powerful healers, because the type of healing work we do as Orion Starseeds is geared towards healing the deep, dark stuff, the Scorpio stuff, because Scorpio is aligned with Orion, the stuff that is really hidden deep down in the unconscious and the subconscious mind. So that's, you're here as a powerful healer, healing the real deep stuff. I would encourage you, whenever in your life you're ready to dive deep, to go into learning how to do regression work, learning how to do hypnosis work, learning how to do, an energy work that really aligns with you, that is really effective in healing the deep cobwebs. And originally, yes, you are from the Andromeda Galaxy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's so interesting because I've been told before that I have a connection with Mintaka, which is in the
That
Orion
is
belt.
Orion. That's what that is. That is Orion. It's just a particular group in Orion's belt.
Yeah, and I never thought about regression work or hypnosis or any of those things.
Do you do healing work right now?
I'm intending to start my business, energy healing business. I recently stopped my translation work to be able to focus more on my healing journey.
That, by the way, the translator part of you is the Lyran part of you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that did strike a chord with me, wanting to know everything, because I also have a very logical brain. So
yeah,
I do want
that's
to
the
know.
Orion piece.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah, that's the Orion piece of us. Yeah. So yeah, amazing. By the way, it's actually really good timing. I have a 6-week spiritual life coaching certification course. It actually starts on Saturday. If you're interested, find me, go to my website, email me, etc. That could be a great supplement to doing these packages, because I do teach regression work in those.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, B, I want to, before we go, I feel bad about B. You're welcome. Thank you. I feel bad about B. I'm just going to give her some intuitive guidance from Spirit. B, a lot of what you're here is to heal this kind of really difficult karmic relationship, soul contract with a female family member. And you probably know who that is. And you are here as a medium, a psychic, a channel, and to open up that part of you. And you are Pleiadian, Arcturian, Sirian, Orion, and Andromeda.
There you go, B. Thank goodness.
There you go, B. It was meant to be. So, Shefali, you and I might see each other pretty soon, right? I've got my retreat coming up. Raise your hand. I saw before a couple people are from upstate New York. I saw Go Bills. I saw, Go Sabres, I think. So those of you, especially that are in upstate New York, or if you're in Connecticut, if you're in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Ohio, we have an incredible soul gathering coming up September 5th through 8th at one of the most amazing places it's literally my favorite place on the East Coast, Light on the Hill. This is ancient indigenous land. This is Cayuga, Iroquois land. And when you get there, you will see that it is the spirits of the Cayuga, the spirits of the Iroquois, okay, that run this very land. And this retreat, this gathering is geared towards connecting with the Iroquois elders, connecting with all Native American elders, connecting with our star family, connecting with our own ancestral lineage, and healing past life and childhood stuff especially. Okay, so like I talked about before, all the aspects of the vertical and the horizontal planes we'll do here, because we will be, not just connecting with our ancestry, we'll also be stepping into our highest timeline. We do that on the last day. We work with one of the they have 2 massive labyrinths there, okay, that are so powerful. And we do the big one, which takes an hour to complete on the last day as a group. And we manifest not just our own intentions and highest timeline, but as a group as well. So we do all of it. And also, watching me and asking questions live as I trans-channel the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Lyons, and the Arcturians there, and the Blue Avians. Okay, we're going to try to hit all 5. We're also going to be doing sky watching at night, okay, to see some spaceships potentially. And we do fires and music at night, and also really grounded stuff. You get a massage, you get yoga, you get Tai Chi, and it's such a beautiful place. It's one of the most spectacular places on the whole East Coast. You can see the lodge at the top of the hill there. It's called Light on the Hill because you can see all the way down 75, 80 miles on a clear day to the Pennsylvania border. And it's such a cool experience when you're driving up the gravel road to the top of the hill, to Light on the Hill. It literally feels like you're leaving the real world behind and just going to the fifth dimension. And I highly recommend people like turn your phone off for the entire time if you can, or use your phone as sparingly as possible. You stay right there in the Inner Light Lodge, okay? We do all of our sessions that are indoors right in the middle of that lodge there. You can see it in the picture in the brochure that Shefali is showing you, right? Underneath, if you look up, there's a giant crystal spire that's bringing through the light from above. It's why it's called Light on the Hill. And then we do a lot of shamanic work as groups outdoors on the trails. It's 200 acres of land. We have the entire facility, the entire land to ourselves for 4 full days. So if you're feeling called to it, okay, email myself or Shefali, okay? And probably myself, because if you email Shefali, you'll probably direct it to me, right? And I'll get you set up. I'm also happy to do a free consultation if you're interested in the retreat. Shefali, we're hoping you're going to be there and actually be leading something there as well. I know you can't confirm yet, and I totally understand, with your daughter and going to school and everything, but you may be there, right?
Absolutely. I am definitely looking at my calendar and seeing, I won't know until closer to middle of August, but I'm going to definitely try and be there as well, because I think it's going to be an amazing retreat.
Yeah, if you're there, you're absolutely going to be guiding one of the sessions, which I would be incredibly grateful for. And I'd love to give you that opportunity.
I would love to. I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to learn so much, and it's going to be transformational.
Yes.
Just looking at that brochure and looking at the place, it's like, you can feel the energy off of it,
Yeah,
right?
seriously.
So yeah, it's amazing.
The land itself, and what it is, it's a spiritual center that's open year round, and people can come for free and just be on the land. Like when there's not groups there, you can come, you can do meditation in the silent meditation chapels. You can hike the lands, you can do the labyrinths, etc. I'm going there in a couple of weeks just to just do a day by myself to energetically calibrate myself before the retreat. So just the land itself does the healing. It's on one of the major arteries, one of the major ley lines that runs all the way from Seneca Falls, New York, all the way through DC, all the way to Sarasota. It's on that ley line. And as I said, and back in the vision I got and the vision that some of my other shamanic friends got last year when we were there, was that this place back in the 1700s to the 1800s was a meeting ground for the Six Nations of the Iroquois, where they would come together and host celebrations with one another in unity and host political discussions. So the land holds this incredibly powerful resonance of unity and healing, and that's why they would do it right here on this land. And, now fast forward to the 21st century, these two wonderful people purchased the land and turned it it was a vision they got from spirit, turned it into what it is. And when you go there, those of you that are going to end up coming, you walk in, there's a whole display case. They have like a little artifact gallery in there of all these ancient, both Native American and trilobite, and prehistoric artifacts from the region, but also the story of how Light on the Hill came to be. And there's a book that they have there that the people that created it. It's a hidden gem. It surprised me that not more people don't know about Light on the Hill. Most people have heard in New York of like Omega. This blows Omega out of the water. No offense to Omega. Omega's wonderful, but the energy of this place is so much higher of a higher frequency. So come join us. 4 days, 3 nights, all included. You stay there, you eat there. The most incredible food. They grow most of the fruits and vegetables there themselves. Awesome. Caroline already said I'm coming. I love it. Thank you. And I know some other people, a mutual friend of ours, Shefali, she's going to be there as well.
Yeah, and I might come with her because she's close by, and so we might travel together.
She's taking the train, so the train's pretty easy. And by the way, that if anyone's taking the train or flying in to Syracuse, you want to come into Syracuse, New York, email me about it, and we'll talk about it over the phone to get you set up. I'm really I'm like a travel agent as well, metaphorically, right? I make sure that you get there in the easiest possible way. But I will make sure that you get to and from the airport to our group hotel, or the train station to our group hotel, and then to and from the retreat center.
Awesome. I love it. I think it's going to be so much fun. And yeah, it's beginning of September, so school hasn't started
it's the
yet.
weekend after Labor Day. The weekend after Labor Day. So September 5th or 8th, starts on a Thursday. It starts at 5 p.m. on a Thursday. So super easy if you're driving. And it ends in the early to mid-afternoon on a Sunday. You can leave as early as you need to drive back. Last year, I had people driving from Ontario, driving from Quebec, driving from Connecticut, driving from Massachusetts, Pennsylvania. And this year as well, people from Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Ontario. So if you want to, if you want to drive and make it super easy. But also last year I had people from North Carolina, from California, from Arizona. So if you want to fly in, I will make sure that you get to and from the retreat center.
Awesome. Thank you. So of course, you can message me, but I won't know anything. So please do message Matthew for any information.
Ideally contact me. Yeah, ideally contact me. And
right,
but if you don't have my email, you can email Shefali and she'll forward it to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, this has been such an amazing call. I think, can we do one more quick little reading for somebody?
Yeah, real quick. Let's do real quick.
I keep getting pulled to Victoria.
Yeah, me too. She was so engaged. I really appreciated how engaged she was.
Well,
hi, Victoria.
Thank you for picking up on my vibes.
Oh my God, I've been picking up the whole time. Are you kidding me? You've been vibing.
Go Bills, man. You mentioned Wegmans too. You mentioned Wegmans, and I had to tap into that. I was like, okay, that sounds like New York City for sure. I know my Wegmans real well. I'm from Toronto, but I know Wegmans.
Wegmans is from Rochester. The first Wegmans, Danny Wegman, is from Rochester, but then expanded out to Buffalo, Syracuse. Now, yes, they opened up in New York City, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. So yes, but for those that don't know, they're like, oh yeah, okay, it's just another supermarket. It's like, no, it's not. It is like an entire gourmet food court and a supermarket all in one that's open 24 hours a day. It is it is the benchmark. Like for Erewhons, I'm sure probably looked at Wegmans and be like, all right, we've got to do something like that, because it is just the best supermarket in North America.
It really is. It really is. Yeah. So I picked up on that at first, but and I also I wanted to give you props for the fruit metaphor, because that was absolute gold. I haven't heard that one yet. That was great. I'm
gonna go eat an apple after this. I'm getting hungry. So
absolutely.
Do you want to know where I see you being from?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever you're picking up on from me, I'm open to receiving whatever comes through. Yes, please.
Pleiadian, Orion, Sirian, Mantis, Blue Avian, Vegan.
Sorry, you cut out there for just 1 second. Pleiadian, Orion,
Blue Avian, Mantis, Vegan, Sirian. They tell me there's 8 Milky Way ones, so there could be a couple others I didn't hit on. But let's do a private reading. That would be awesome. We'll hit on more. And you're from Andromeda Galaxy originally. And God, you are here as a leader. You're here as a leader of the new paradigm, like myself. And someday, if you're not already doing it, you're going to be like myself, leading retreats of both men, women, all sorts of people around the world in unity. So I want you to think of your work as mainly, like myself, a teacher, a spiritual teacher first, and a guide and a leader, and to bring people together.
Hey, Adonai, thank you for that. I don't know if you know that term, but I'm just mirroring.
and I do. I feel such a resonance with your energy. I hope you do package B or C, and let's do some readings. Join in the Ascending as One group. I'd love to have the contribution of your energy and your wisdom to that group.
Thank you. No, my mom is Caroline. My mother is Caroline. She's in the group chat too, and we might both be coming to that retreat.
That would be great. Yes, I know your mother well, and I haven't heard from her in a while. It's nice to hear from her again. And I will. You guys will save if you come as a group. It's much lower price.
Perfect. Thank you so much for tapping in and for being you. I appreciate so much for you giving me the time that you did. And thank you for today's call. This was absolutely incredible.
You are welcome. And amazing. That's awesome. I'll see you guys in about 6 weeks here. I can't wait.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Victoria. Oh my goodness,
lovely
I
to
love
meet
it.
you too.
I love it.
I love everybody's
Caroline's
energy.
daughter.
I feel like I've tapped into my own realm here. So this was absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Thank you to everyone.
It's so cool, like making these connections and the community. Like Shefali, I have to say, I in no intention do I mean to pressure you. I just intuitively feel like you should be there, and just the fact that so many mutual friends are coming. I hope.
Yeah,
I really
exactly. I will definitely try. I've got my fingers crossed. So definitely we'll try. I'll keep you posted. But as soon as I know more about my daughter, then I will know.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. My goodness, what a full call today, right? So much wisdom. I loved it. I love talking about the Starseeds. I love learning more about the Starseeds. Like what we talked about today, one of the key points that I took away was our Starseed origin is not necessarily one planet or one system.
Right.
It's many, right? And so I was always confused by that. So how come one person is saying I'm in Takin, another person is saying I'm from Hadar, and then somebody else is saying I'm from Syria? It's like, where am I from? Right?
Yeah, because it's probably all of them. That's why. Yeah.
Exactly. So that was great. And now the blue avians, because I can definitely resonate with that as well. So like it starts to open you up to even more and bigger and greater, right? Then you're just lowly little, I'm just Shefali doing this little thing. But no, you're much bigger, and your purpose is here to express all those parts of yourself. Really, that's why we're here as well, to express all parts of ourselves, as well as clearing that karma, clearing and healing those wounds from the past, but not ours only, the ancestral, the collective, the galactic, all of that, because we are here to leave a legacy of love and light and community. That's what I think.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep. Amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited about all this. I'm so excited for everyone that joined, that we got to talk to, and I'm so excited because I know a lot of you are really super intrigued now and are going to do the Ascending as One program in the packages. Get those private sessions with me, do the Understanding Your Star Origins course to understand all of these different commonalities from these different groups, figure out where you're from, watch that, and then do the reading with me and ask me, right? I'm more than happy. It's my greatest pleasure to share, with you and to help you with your purpose as well.
And for those of you that were lucky enough to get a mini reading, like that was a mini reading, if you want to go deeper, obviously, and have more information and have more questions because of what came through, definitely get package B so that you can at least get some, readings with Matthew to go more in depth, right? Because I know some of you have written in the chat with more questions. Well, definitely it just means get package B or get package C and get more information, and more healing, more all those wonderful programs that Matthew has. There's so much for us to learn and so much for us to take away from not just this call, but from his packages. I mean, you'll be stunned, you'll be amazed in a good way. So this was wonderful. Check out package A, B, and C and see which one resonates with you. And of course, yes, definitely, if you can come to the retreat in September, beginning of September, that is going to be another transformational event.
I just realized Joyce is on this call. She's already signed up. So a whole bunch of our mutuals are going to be there. So it's going to be a soul reunion there, a soul gathering.
Absolutely.
So cool.
It's I mean, the more that we talk about it, the more excited I get.
I know, because I've been telling you for a year, right? Right?
Yes,
it's been a whole year I've been trying to get you out here, and
that is true. Yes,
know that you should be there.
I remember even last year you had said, it was like, oh, I can't.
Last year it was impossible with what you're going through, but This year, yeah, it might be possible.
This year
You
is
know?
definitely more of a possibility. So we will
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
see some of you there at the retreat. But if not, we'll see you in the Ascending as One. Matthew
yep,
will see you in the private readings and
yep,
etc. And yeah, definitely, I always highly recommend these packages because there's so much guidance and
yep.
information and wisdom available for you. So if you're a starseed, yeah, more so. And you know what? We are all starseeds. Most of us, 99% of us who are on these calls are starseeds.
Yes.
I know there are some people that are earth seeds, because I know Caroline was asking about the difference between starseed and earth seed, but we'll get to that on another call because we've
On
already
another
gone
call.
over.
On another call. And awesome.
Yeah,
Caroline just bought the package for Victoria. That is what a blessing that is. I love that. Oh my God.
awesome!
Thank you so much.
Congratulations,
And
Victoria.
Caroline, I
Lucky
am so
you.
excited to see both of you at Light on the Hill. So email me right away so we can get that set up. We can even do a phone chat today if you want to start getting that set up. All right. I'm really excited that you guys are coming.
I
Oh,
already
Yep.
you emailed me. You just did email me.
email, yes. So
I see it. I see it. It's so nice to see your face. It's been a while. Hope you and Victor are doing great. Amazing, amazing. Shefali, that's
Good.
my favorite part about doing your show because yeah, I do, a lot of other shows as some of you know, but it's the community. This show that is just it's such a it feels
Yeah.
like friends. Feels like friends,
Absolutely. Friends, family. I'm so grateful.
Yeah,
I'm so grateful that
exactly.
we have this community. So thank you so much,
Exactly.
everyone.
All right, I'm gonna
So
go
much
eat
fun.
some
And I'm
non-moldy.
sorry, I always apologize. I'm sorry we didn't do more readings, but you know how it is. But next time we'll do more readings
I'm feeling called
next time
to
Matthew's
go
on.
eat some fruit, some non-moldy fruit.
Non-moldy fruit, yes.
Non-moldy fruit. So, and maybe everyone, let's all eat some fruit to celebrate this call.
I just want to say
Absolutely.
how brilliant Matthew is because he called my husband Victor. But what you don't know, Matthew, is that one of my miscarriages was my son and his name was Victor. So
Wow.
his name, but you picked up on it, and I know that Victor is doing well.
Oh my God, I cannot believe that. Yeah,
I got goosebumps.
oh my God. Oh my God.
You said, I hope Victor's doing well, but that was my miscarriage, one of my
Bless.
sons. Thank you.
Oh my God.
See you
Blessings.
soon.
Blessings.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
Good.
I can't wait.
My baby
Yeah,
brother
I've got
you just
goosebumps
tapped
all over
into.
from that. Sorry,
Wow.
Victoria?
That my baby brother you just tapped into.
I cannot believe
Yeah.
that. That was just completely out of the blue. I didn't even know what I was saying there. Wow.
It just came through, right? For somebody to hear, for Caroline
Wow.
to hear. So that's awesome.
Cool. That was a
Beautiful.
cool moment.
I love it. Thank you.
All right.
Well,
Thank you so much, Shefali. Thank you, everyone.
Matthew.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, everyone who's still here with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This has been absolutely amazing call. All your comments in the chat, and oh my goodness, has been just wonderful. So thank you, thank you. Of course, Matthew, thank you, and we will try and definitely get to see you in beginning of September.
Sounds
So
good.
everyone, definitely check out the packages, like I always say, and I will have the recording out later, but definitely go back and watch and listen again, because again, there's so much wisdom, right? So much information here that's going to help you. And even if you didn't get a reading, if you are able to tap into your heart and really receive, you will get information from the other readings that is going to resonate with you and relate to you. That's how I got picked up on the blue avians, when Matthew was talking about that. I didn't have
Yeah,
a reading,
yeah.
but it's like, oh yeah, I can definitely, okay, I can see that, right? So be willing to receive, right? All right, so thank you so much, everyone, and until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health, sending you all so much love and blessings. Bye, everyone. Much love and blessings. Have a good night for those of you in Europe. I know you're already gone to bed. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Bye.
Bye, honey.